These stats at face value don't look that special. But what if I told you they are from a player playing as a central back? What's up guys, Big Feds here with a guide on my 3-5-2 tactic. I used to be a very inconsistent player up until I found my formation. I've been playing this since FIFA 19 now. I have always been a possession, passing, or attacker player, and the formation that has suited that kind of style for me is the 3-5-2. In this guide, I'll be going through everything regarding my 3-5-2. The setup, the instructions, and some examples on how to use those instructions, what patterns I look for, what players I look for. All of the examples in this video are taken straight out of my stream to show you that these tactics are applicable online and against high-level players. The defensive style is balanced. That's something I use every year. I don't really change that up. With this, pretty straightforward. 40. We don't want it too narrow. We don't want it too wide. I am not a big fan of the 71 depth. It pulled my players out of position consistently and opened up space that I wasn't comfortable leaving. So I turned it out to 60. Slow build up and possession. This is in regards to my style. In the build up play, whenever you've got the ball in your half, your players will show themselves to receive the ball instead of looking to run in behind. It allows for a lot of short passes. This is perfect for me because I like to choose when to increase the tempo rather than being forced into it with my tactic. Same thing with possession. It means when you're in your opponent's half, your players will look to show themselves for the ball instead of making runs in behind. It does allow me to make manual runs consistently, which makes me able to choose when I want to look to threaten. Seeing as the only players out wide is the left mid and right mid, we do not want our players in the central part of the pitch to be too close together, which is why we got the width on 80. Players in the box, corner, and free kicks is completely up to preference. I prefer 6 players in the box, 3 at corners, and 3 at free kicks. My 3-5-2 revolves around 3 key positions. One of them is the central CB. Having him on join the attack gives you an outlet in every aspect of when you have possession, whether it's in your build-up or when you're trying to create a chance. In game, I always press the D-pad up, an extra striker, to have him consistently move up. The left center back and the right center back are unchanged. So what exactly are we trying to achieve with join the attack? This short clip illustrates very well how involved he is in every phase of the play. So my opponent tries the kickoff glitch, which is intercepted by Witsel, and then Witsel starts the attack from a central back position, then moves up, takes it as a central midfielder, and progresses it even further. And then when we're in and around our opponent's box, he's the player that assists the goal that we eventually score. With join the attack, what we're looking to create in our build-up is this box of 4 players with the CB on join the attack in the center of it. And when he's in the center of it, he acts as a wall or as a bounce. In this example, you can see that the pass from Van Dijk to Pedri is blocked. What this guy does is that he allows for a potential pass to Pedri by making it go through him instead. And as you can see, the wings are completely open. There is no one there. But we'll get to that when we get to the wide players. When you get the ball to your midfielders or your wide players, the CB on join the attack will move up and provide you an outlet to keep progressing the ball. The same thing happens when we're on the final third. In this clip, each player in the backline is occupied by an attacker, and our cam is moving into the box, holding one player with him. What this does is that it leaves the central back that is joining the attack a lot of free space to move into and relieve the pressure. And when we pass it back, his backline is going to push up, which means we can punish if we're quick enough, which is exactly what we do. Having him so far up as well makes it so whenever you lose the ball, he covers the middle and is available for the first press. Other 2 key positions are in the left mid and the right mid. As our center back is on join the attack, we've got our wide players on comeback and defense. And the reason for this is whenever we lose the ball, we've only got 2 players defending. We want the closest player to rush back and defend as fast as possible. What this means though is that you'll be defending in a 2 at the back, you'll be defending in a 3 at the back, you'll be defending in a 4 at the back, and you'll be defending in a 5 at the back. And then you've got the left mid and right mid on stay wide, which means they will position themselves very far out. They are a great tool to relieve yourself from pressure. And this is useful for 2 different reasons. Number 1 is that they always offer an outlet whenever you've got the ball with one of your center backs for a long ball, which makes it easy to play out of. And then the amount of space that is open, if you're struggling to play out, you can just call them short, which means they will run down. And having them run down instead of standing there will give you a few extra seconds to make a decision on what you want to do. You can either look for the pass inwards or you can look for the crossfield pass. The stay wide also makes your wide players very dangerous options for runs in behind. It could be that you're attacking from the same side and a through ball in behind the wide back and the central back makes for a lot of open space. Or it could be that you're switching quickly from one side to another, which allows you a very open chance, seeing as your opponent most likely won't be able to keep up. And lastly, we have get in the box for crosses. What this does is that seeing that your wide player is on stay wide, he will make a very late run into the box whenever you're on the other side, which means most of the time he's always open for a cross. The instructions for the CMs aren't really that impactful. They're just there to act as a balance for the team. I have them on passing lanes, cover center, and one of them on stay back. Now for the cam, we've got stay forward and get in the box for crosses. Stay forward is pretty simple. Whenever we win the ball, he's always there as an outlet if we want to counter quickly. And the get in the box is important because whenever you're out wide, your cam will make a run into the box, taking a defender with him, which will leave space outside if you want to look to recycle the ball to someone. We're able to find a third man pass as a result of the run my cam does. And lastly, we have the two strikers. I've got them both stay central because what it does is it makes it so both of your strikers occupy one central back each, which means if you add the cam, your wide players, and your center back joining the attack, whether your opponent's playing a 3 at the back, a 4 at the back, or a 5 at the back, you're always going to have one player free. It's all about being able to find him. One of the most effective patterns is the combination between central back, central mid, striker, and wide player. You pass it to the midfielder, draw in some pressure, then you pass it back to the central back. This opens up a lane from the central back to the striker. After looking for it on one touch, we release it back to the central mid who's joining the attack and is facing the correct way, and he has an easy pass out wide to the wide player. We've broken through 2 of our opponent's lines with 3 simple passes. Another similar pattern is that after you use a long ball to the wide player, one of his players will push close to you. Passing it back to the central back will open up an easy lane through the midfielder, which then allows you to do whatever you want. In this instance, it allows for a good through ball to Benzema, who's making a run in behind. A good pattern when you're around your opponent's box is not looking to go in, but instead looking to go out, because what happens when you pass it backwards is that your opponent backline will move up and finding the central back that has joined the attack. Makes him a very good third man option for any kind of pass you want to get a good opportunity and a good shot off. So when it comes to positions and play styles, you're starting off with the back line. Your left central back and your right central back can be whoever you want. The 3 play styles I look for are jockey, anticipate, and long balls. Now when it comes to the central CB, that is where you need a very well-rounded player, and if possible, relentless is one of the main aspects because he'll be running up and down so much. If you want some examples of player I'd use in this position, you can pause the video here. Top left is the cheapest and the bottom right is the most expensive. Now when it comes to the midfield, same thing here. The central players, you have a lot of flexibility. You can have one attacking and one defensive, but I prefer having 2 well-rounded players. That is completely up to preference, on top of making sure that there are some passing play styles in them, because your central midfielders act as balance and they're there to recycle the ball. So tiki-taka, pinged pass, first touch are all very good play styles. Now when it comes to the wide players, the left mid and right mid, you need to have somebody with relentless here because they'll be running up and down the entire game. Whipped pass is a great playstyle on top of relentless, and I look for very well-rounded cards. If you want some examples of player I'd use in this position, you can pause the video here. Top left is the cheapest and the bottom right is the most expensive. Some of these can also be used as your central CB. And lastly, your cam and your 2 strikers. There is no real specific player I look for. I switch these around a lot. I prefer, if possible, is to have incisive pass on the cam, but that is about it. But yeah, these are the tactics that I've been playing now for almost 5 years. One thing about every tactic you'll see, they're based around the player using them. I do want to push on that tactics don't really make or break the player. They're a supplement to how good you are. So finding good tactics might help win 1 or 2 more games. And I strongly recommend using these tips as a template and then remaking it for your own. I hope these tactics help some people out. If you have a question, feel free to leave a comment. I do stream my games on Twitch if you want to catch up outside of the videos. But until next time, I hope this is helpful. Have a good day.